Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Sir Squeezeback Show, Daddy Back Sinting, Fash Out TV, Dog TVs, Veterans Views Box, Manasseh Promotion. It's a pleasure for me to be here with you today. Here we are again in the offices of AFUS, African Friends of the United States, formerly GFNY. We're here with the president and the founder of AFUS, Prince Sampson Afriyie Fontomfrom. And ladies and gentlemen, like we said before, the reverse is here. It's getting a little tricky, but we're going to try to see if we could iron things out a little bit for you, try to explain what's been going on. I know a lot of you have been waiting for the African Day Parade. We promised that parade. What was that, Prince? 2008? What year did you say you were going to bring the parade to the table?
Right now, we don't actually know the dates.
But what was your original date that you had planned?
Now we are planning on August 20th or 21st, 2011.
Of 2011. But what was your original date?
The original date was 4th of June, 2011, which is supposed to be next month coming.
Okay, but you have been trying to hold or to create an African Day Parade for years now.
Yeah.
How many years? When did you first start?
The first letter we wrote to the mayor's office, Mayor Bloomberg's office, was 2004.
Okay.
And he responded that they want to see African culture in the city of the world.
Okay.
So you were proud of forced to do this parade. So we bring all type of drums from Africa just because of the parade.
Right.
But unfortunately, they refuse. And then you have to start everything fresh. A letter from the mayor's office stated that you have to see the priest department.
Okay.
They're supposed to give us the date for the parade. When we send a letter to the priest department, they refer us to Priest Investigation Review Section. So when we send a letter to Priest Investigation Review Section, they reply and said it's going to take them 7 good months before they can give us the reply.
Okay.
So you were waiting 2208 after until when the reply came, they refused. They said you are going to cause traffic and then it's going to cause business. So they give us 10 days to respond.
Business disruption.
Business disruption. Mm-hmm. So they give us 10 days to make appeal. Mm-hmm. You make appeal, and then it took them about 3 months before they send the letter. Mm-hmm. When they replied the letter, they said because we did not change it, but we refer them about Puerto Rican parade, Irish parade, so many parades, what is going on in the city. So you don't know the reason why they said only African Friends of U.S. or the African Day Parade is going to cause them the traffic. So after that, it was hanging. And then we sent them a letter that since our parade is going on, they asked us to go and join so many parades in Harlem, in Manhattan, and we refused that. We said, you are not part of the African Americans, so you cannot join them, but they rather can join us. Because we are not part of them, they are part of us. So we refused them. And then after that, we sent another letter to the Police Commissioner's office, and then they give us a letter to go and see Police Chief in the Manhattan North, which is 110th Street. So if any program we have to do, it's supposed to be after 96th Street up. And we accept that. So we made 2 times meeting with the police lieutenant who's in charge of the parade in uptown Manhattan. So the first meeting, then we fixed the date, which is on September. And then later on, they refused it, and then they give us 4th June. And then they said it's going to cost them, the city, too much money and a lot of, they cancel so many programs, so you cannot do it. So they called my manager, which name was Jeffrey Atkins, said you cannot do it. So Jeffrey told me, I said, no, they can't just say anything from their mouth. They have to put everything on the letter. Because you have already met all the African ambassadors to the United Nations. All of these people know about this parade coming up. So when you just said on your mouth verbally to go and tell this one, you don't know, and so you need everything on the paper. And that also took 3 months. They couldn't reply it. So the last week, which is today's date is 26th. I think last week was around 18th of April. They sent us a message that you have to fill another form and bring it. So you did it, which is you choose the date of August 21st, either 20th or 21st of August. So you are just waiting for the reply, for the approval. So in case they give it approval, you can take the 3 to 4 months to plan for that. So this is what we are waiting for them now.
Well, do you actually feel that you would be able to hold this in 2011? I mean, isn't that a short period of time for you to plan to make this an effective parade if you're going to actually have this parade?
In fact, we know that from now up to August is too short.
Absolutely.
But since they give us a form, that's from the police department, to fill it, and if you are saying you are going to plan for the next year, they are not going to give us the form to fill it because all programs coming on 2012 form have to come on next year, December or January.
Okay, so you're going to just go ahead and accept what they have and just work with what they're going on.
And then when they give it approval, you are going to force and do it because it's for the first time.
Booker T. Washington says, "Pull yourself up by your own bootstrap." Martin Luther King said, "I have a dream." Malcolm X said, "By any means necessary." Marcus Messiah Garvey said, "Look for me in the whirlwind. One aim, one God, one destiny." Bob Marley said, "One love." Now here is African Friends of the United States, an organization in movement, an organization with a focus, leadership, provided by our very own Prince Sampson Afriyie Fontomfrom. Our ladies and gentlemen, African Friends of the United States have been trying to conduct an African Day Parade since 2008.
4.
Corrected. African Friends, ladies and gentlemen, African Friends of the United States, formerly GFNY, have been attempting to conduct an African Day Parade since 2004. In every attempt, there have been obstacles in the way. Are they deliberate? We intend to find out. African Friends of the United States have been directed to join other organizations. Example, the African American Day Parade. But Africa is not a country. Africa is a continent, with 50 countries being represented, 53. With, ladies and gentlemen, Africa is not a country, it's a continent, with 53 countries representing that one continent. We know we see the Irish Day Parade, the Italian Day Parade, the Puerto Rican Day Parade, the Dominican Day Parade. African Americans whose sweat and blood and lives have built this country through the vision of Prince Sampson Afriyie Fontomfrom, would like the United States and the world to recognize the contributions of Africans worldwide. So Prince, your plan is to go ahead and accept what is there on the table and plan for next year. Deal with this year, and just to get into the circle.
And in case they give us the approval, no matter how, because we have already contacted people from about 3 or 4 countries in Africa, like Ghana, Nigeria, Mali, Togo, and Benin. And some of the countries are ready. So even when they give us 1 month for the parade, we are ready to do it, because right now you have all the drums, the drummers, everything, they are ready. The one thing is the money. So you need help. And in case you have the approval, we are going to talk to so many banks and companies who can help for advertisement so that we can go forward to do this program. Because as soon as they give us the dates, we are not going to miss it.
Well, you know, Prince, I know you had reached out to Mr. Gaddafi for assistance. Given the situation in Libya at this time, I know that that's one of the support mechanisms that you cannot count on. So would you be counting on the local community to support this mission that you're on, this vision? Because the bigger heads, the heads of states that you have reached out to, especially now that Africa has some turmoil, even in Nigeria, they have a situation going on in Nigeria. So does that mean that you would have to count on the community more and less here to be a support to what your vision is to hold this parade?
Yeah, because before we know Gaddafi is the father of Africa, and Libya is #1 leading economic everything in Africa, and they are number 53rd in the whole world. So you were thinking that Libya is some countries, Gaddafi is somebody who want to be proud of Africa. So you were planning for assistance from Gaddafi. So when this war beginning, we know that there's nothing you can get from them. But all the time I was saying to my friend, we cannot compare Tunis, Egypt, Bahrain to Libya. Libya is different country. When Gaddafi came to power, no matter how, he was there for a long time. For one man, detective, it's not good, something, we don't like it. But this is not the way to get Gaddafi out from power. I worked in Libya before for 6.5 years. I was working in the Albertine company, the oil company. What Libyans were doing is, Gaddafi was able to make man-made river the whole world. Everything new in Libya was done by Gaddafi. No matter how 70 billion or trillion dollars they said he have in his family's name, Gaddafi have done a lot to the Libyans. Gaddafi said, go to school. When you finish the school, they give you loan to build your house. They give you loan to marry, because marriage is one of the most important things in the Arab countries. And after that, you have to go to the military school for maybe 1 or 2 years. About 90% job or business in Libya is held by foreigners. So what Gaddafi was saying is, when you finish the school, if I'm a manager in this company, they will bring you to work with the manager. And then they give 1 year contract. When I was working, I was a chef manager. Mm-hmm. The Canadians, the Americans, British, Arab country, they were all under me, because I was the manager for the camp, Albertine. Mm-hmm. I work in Fox 7, Fox 27, and Jaro 59 overseas.
You say Halliburton?
Halliburton company, that's for the chin.
Halliburton.
I work there. And then the Libyans, they are lazy. They don't want to work. I'm telling you. Because
some of them,
upon all these opportunities the government give it to them, they don't want to work. They go to the oil field or the companies, they are not trying to learn. So as soon as you learn, they will kick the foreigner out, and then the Libya will place for the job or the company. They don't do it. Especially the West and the East is something different. All the oil companies in the East side. But the Libyans, the East and the West is different from beginning up to now. So I always said, this war, if Gaddafi die even today or tomorrow, the war will continue.
I believe that.
They are going to make democratic governments. If the winner coming from the East, the West is not going to support them. If the winner going from the West or the East, the division will come. Even if Gaddafi die, the West is not going to like the East, because now the coalition is supporting the East to fight against the West. Because the West is peace, there's nothing going on now. So my idea is to divide the country into two, East and West, like Sudan, North and the South, and that will bring peace to the Libyans. That's what I have to say about it.
You know, Prince, I want to thank you for sharing that. Oftentimes, folks don't understand when a true warrior is on the table. And ladies and gentlemen, we know what Prince Sampson Afriyie represents, and we know that we are peaceful people. We are happy people. And that's what we want. We want peace and we want happiness. And we would like to see the African Day Parade be a success. And we would like to see African Day Parade in the United States of America for the year 2011 and thereafter. Now, Prince, I want you to just share a little bit with me what you have done in reaching out to those in your circle about your vision. You're trying to get them to get on the table and give you some assistance in trying to get this organization move forward.
Anyway, now all what we need for this organization is paperwork. Yeah, it's paperwork. We are sent so many letters to so many foundations. You don't even get to respond. All the time they say they are sorry because of economic, it's not doing well. And we have YMCA in the Yonkers. We are educating the youth. We are educating the youth for almost 1 year now. We are not getting to any fund. Everything sponsored by the board of directors and myself. And right now, we are trying to send letters to institutions, because we have the troop trying to come from Africa. As soon as they give us this approval letter from the city, after the parade, we are going to perform in institutions and free programs in so many places. And even last year, you were at the New York Times travel show for 27 and 28, which the children were full of the platform. So we need especially the New Yorkers to pay attention on this organization, because the children is going to be benefits, especially the family is going to benefit from African culture, drumming and dancing. Is something you don't have in America here. So I'm just praying to all the New Yorkers and the Americans to pay attention on this organization. Our website is going to be open. It's under construction by now. It's going to be open, and then the name of the website is www.a.f.u.s. And when you go there, you are going to see what you are doing, what you are trying to do. You are doing environmental, HIV awareness, and then cultural programs. And we are trying to do a lot of things, and then open more offices in so many places in America here, not only in New York or in Westchester County here. So everybody will have to pay attention on this organization.
Keep talking, Prince. Where you stop?
Continue?
Yeah. Talk
about what you have done, the last event, the Javi Center. You said you wanted to talk about that, so talk about the Javi Center.
Anyway,
this is video.
Okay.
That goes in the yellow. And if you only have two, just pick either one of those for the audio.
I know you're gonna edit someplace there.
Yeah.
I want you to ask me so that
2, 3. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, here we go again. We're back with Prince Sampson Afriyie Fontomfrom, President and Founder. Hey guys, we on. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, here we go again. We're back with President and Founder, African Friends of the United States, Prince Sampson Afriyie Fontomfrom. Just want to touch bases with him a little bit about some of the activities, events that AFUS have been involved in. So AFUS, what was the last event that your Fontomfrom troop performed?
oh, we have done about 3 local programs and 1 for the state. That was that happened on Jacob Jarvis Center last year, which is 27 and 28, which is about 22 drummers and dancers at Jacob Jarvis Center in New York City. And then you do 2 local programs in the Bronx, and then 1 in Rochester here. So right now we are planning, if in case the city is going to refuse the approval by the August, we are planning to have a picnic in one of the state park. Even that one, even the police said, in case the parade is not going on, they are going to give us a park for the program, so that next year, in case you can do the parade in next year, you can do. So now, this year we have about 2 or 3 big activities coming on before the end of September.
I know you've done some activities with the churches. Quite aware of one you did in Harlem. Have you done any other ones?
Yeah. Oh, I forget that program for the African American church at the Methodist Church. Yeah, we did it. We did it. That was about 8 performance. Yeah, and then you have one in Bronx, Brook Avenue, which is 167 Avenue, and then one at 149 Street and Grand Concourse. Yeah, you did about 4 programs this year.
And also funerals, huh?
Yeah.
You got your troop performs at funerals.
Your troop perform, yeah.
So you're available for funerals?
No, not especially because one of our troops, father expired, so we have to go and show.
Yeah, but what if there is someone out there who would like to have a traditional African burial or funeral and would like to have your unit perform, and they're willing to compensate the unit? I mean, would that be available? Would that be open for them to do that?
In fact, we are not trying to put the drums, the Fontomfrom drums don't have to be in the public all the time. But if the people want the special, like Kete or Adua, you can do it for them. But the Fontomfrom is not getting out. Like the Fontomfrom move when the Prince or King is in the program or special events.
Okay.
Yeah. So for the funeral, you can go with a small troop with the Kete drum or the Adwa drum, but not the Fontomfrom drum.
That's for special occasions.
Fontomfrom is for the special occasion.
You know, Prince, what was it that inspired you to try to keep the African culture alive here in the United States?
In fact, this is a big question. When I came here somewhere 1996, I've been so many places, so many picnics. Most of the time, I don't see how the Africans use their typical culture. They use CD, CD, cassette for their programs. So I was trying to bring a live program for the African Americans who don't know anything about African culture. That's why I plan to bring all these drums or the troop or this show into the system of US.
Okay. Now, have the public been receptive to what you're trying to do, or has it been somewhat difficult?
Or in fact, Jamaicans were the first country to accept the Prince of Africa program. They invite me to programs. One is Jamaicans Independence. They invite me as a guest of honor, and then I went there with my troop, and then the program was very successful. And then another one was they make their special the end of the year party, and they invite me and my dancers, and that also was very nice. And you have done so many programs, but my own country people, they don't try to help or trying to concentrate on this program because they've been seeing all this in Africa. So they don't know what is going on. But this non-profit organization is something, if they're trying to follow or know what you are doing, it's good for our children 1 year. Because sometimes if you go to your child's school and trying to speak your own the African language, your child, they are not trying to respond to you, or they pretend like they don't know what you are talking about.
They're ashamed.
They are ashamed of that. But with the Jews and the Indians, when anytime you come closer to them, they speak their own language. They don't speak English to their children or something like that. This all why we are trying to make the African Day Parade, to bring everybody country to bring their culture to the street, to know the American people, and through that I know our children, they are not going to feel shame or something like that.
You know, Prince, I want to thank you on behalf of all those folks out there who have missed their culture, who don't know their culture, and who are longing for something like this, what you're doing. And I would just like to encourage you not to abandon ship. I know you say all the time, no monkey. What you say, Prince?
The monkey story you are talking, I told the priest or the lieutenant who were planning for the parade, and I told the officer that, you can't just say no to everybody, but sometimes you need consideration. So I asked the police officer, I'm going to tell you a story about the monkey story. Can I tell you? And then the officer go back. I said, don't go back. I said, officer, do you know the story of monkey? The reason why they put rope in the waist of the monkey? The officer said he doesn't know. I said, you know something? African friends of U.S., there's no matter how.